Welcome back to Super Rare Coins, the place where ordinary coins turn into extraordinary treasures. Today, we're counting down the top 4 half-dollar coins that might look simple and even scratched, but could be worth up to $350. Zeroth. These coins hide rare errors and unique details that most people never notice. So stay with us till the end, because your next coin could be the one that changes everything. Let's dive in. Top 1. The 1,977 half-dollar from the Denver Mint, marked with a small d, is one of those coins that millions of people have seen or even spent without a second thought. But here's where things get interesting. Not every coin is the same, even if they share the same date and mint mark. The value of a coin depends heavily on its condition, rarity, and any unique features it may have. In this case, we're talking about a circulated 1,977D half-dollar graded as very fine. This means the coin has been used in everyday transactions and shows visible wear. You might notice scratches, small dents, and a loss of sharp detail, especially on the high points of the design. For most collectors, this level of condition would suggest a modest value, maybe just a few dollars at best. But sometimes, the story goes beyond the surface. Certain coins gain extraordinary value due to rare minting errors, unusual die varieties, or historical significance that wasn't recognized at the time they were produced. A 1,977D half-dollar in circulated condition with scratches might still hold hidden secrets. For example, a rare die error, doubled features, or an off-metal strike can transform an otherwise ordinary coin into a collector's dream. Imagine examining your coin closely and discovering a subtle doubling in the lettering or an unusual texture that shouldn't be there. These small details can make a massive difference. Collectors are constantly searching for these rare characteristics, and when one is confirmed, the value can skyrocket. Now let's talk about the shocking number, $400 zeroth. That kind of price doesn't come from just any coin. It represents a perfect storm of rarity, demand, and uniqueness. For a 1,977D half-dollar to reach such a value, it would likely need to be a one-of-a-kind error or an extremely rare variety that very few people know about. Auctions play a huge role in determining this value. When two or more serious collectors compete for a rare piece, the price can climb rapidly, far beyond expectations. Even in a very fine circulated condition with visible scratches, the rarity of the error or feature can outweigh the wear. In fact, some of the most valuable coins players ever sold were not in perfect condition. Their uniqueness made them priceless. Another important factor is authentication. If you believe you have a rare 1,977D half-dollar, the first step is to have it professionally graded and verified. Experts use advanced tools and years of experience to identify genuine errors and determine the coin's true condition. Without this step, it's nearly impossible to confirm whether a coin is truly valuable or just an interesting piece of pocket change. Collectors also look at historical context. The late 1970s were a time when minting technology was improving, but mistakes still happened. These mistakes, although rare, are what makes certain coins stand out today. A small oversight at the mint decades ago could now be worth a fortune. So what should you do if you come across a 1,977D half-dollar? Don't ignore it. Take a closer look. Check for unusual markings, doubling, or anything that seems out of the ordinary. Even if the coin has scratches and signs of wear, it might still hold incredible links. Also a good idea to compare your coin with verified examples online or consult with experienced collectors. Sometimes, what looks like damage could actually be part of a rare minting error. At the end of the day, coin collecting is like a treasure hunt. You never know what you might find. A simple, circulated 1,977 half dollar could be just another coin, or it could be a hidden gem worth up to $400,000 in today's auction market. That's what makes this hobby so exciting. Every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth more than you could ever imagine. Top 2. The 1,981 half dollar was minted in Philadelphia, which is why it carries the P mint mark. Millions of these coins were produced, and most of them entered circulation, passing through countless hands over the years. Because of this, finding one in circulated condition is not rare at all. In fact, many people may still have one sitting in an old jar, wallet, or coin collection without realizing its potential. Now let's focus on the condition. A coin described as very fine has clearly been used in everyday transactions. It shows noticeable wear on the surface, especially on the high points of the design. The details are still visible, but they are no longer sharp. On top of that, scratches and marks from years of handling add to its worn appearance. Normally, a coin in this condition would not attract much attention from serious collectors and would only be worth its face value or slightly more. But this is where the story takes a surprising turn. In rare cases, coins like the 1,981 half dollar can carry unique minting errors or die varieties that dramatically increase their value. These errors are often small and difficult to notice unless you know exactly what to look for. For example, doubling in the text or design, misaligned strikes, or unusual metal compositions can all turn a common coin into something extraordinary. Imagine discovering that your scratched and circulated coin has a rare doubled die feature, where the design appears slightly duplicated due to a mistake during the minting process. Or perhaps the coin was struck off-center, creating a visibly unusual appearance. These kinds of errors are highly sought after by collectors because they are rare and tell a unique story about how the coin was made. The idea of a 1,981 half dollar reaching a value of $350,000 may sound shocking, especially considering its circulated condition. However, in the auction world, rarity often matters more than perfection. If a coin is one of only a few known examples with a specific error or feature, collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts to own it. The competition between buyers can drive prices far beyond what most people would expect. Another important factor is demand. Coin collectors are always searching for pieces that stand out, something that no one else has. A rare 1,981 half dollar with a unique error could easily become the centerpiece of a collection. This desire to own something truly special is what pushes values into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Authentication plays a crucial role in this process. If you believe you have a valuable coin, it must be verified by professionals. Grading companies carefully examine every detail, from the condition of the coin to the presence of any errors or unusual features. Without proper authentication, even the rarest coin cannot achieve its full market. Links also important to understand that not every 1,981 half dollar will be valuable. The vast majority are still worth only their face value. The key difference lies in those rare and unusual characteristics that set a coin apart from the rest. This is why careful inspection is so important. Take a close look at the coin's surface. Pay attention to the lettering, the date, and the overall design. Look for anything that seems out of place or different from a standard coin. Even small details can make a huge difference in value. The late 20th century was a time when minting processes were advanced, but not perfect. Mistakes still happened, and those mistakes are what collectors treasure today. A tiny error made decades ago could now be worth a fortune. What makes this even more exciting is the possibility that such coins are still out there, hidden in plain sight. People spend them, store them, or forget about them completely, never realizing their true worth. This means that anyone, anywhere, could potentially discover one. Top 3. The 2023 half dollar with a P mint mark, a coin that may look ordinary, even scratched and worn, yet could carry an unbelievable value of up to $350,000 under the right circumstances. The 2023 half dollar was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, indicated by the small P mint mark. Unlike older coins, many modern half dollars are not widely used in daily transactions. Instead, they are often produced for collectors or limited circulation. Because of this, finding a 2023 half dollar in circulated condition is already somewhat unusual. A coin graded as fine shows clear signs of wear, with flattened details and visible scratches across the surface. At first glance, such a coin would seem to have little to no premium value, but as always, in the world of coin collecting, appearances can be deceiving. What truly determines a coin's value is not just its age or condition, but its rarity and uniqueness. Even a modern coin, like the 2023 P half dollar, can become incredibly valuable if it contains a rare minting error or a unique production flaw. These errors can occur despite advanced minting technology, and when they do, they instantly capture the attention of collectors around the world. Imagine holding a coin that has a dramatic off-center strike, where the design is visibly shifted away from the center. Or perhaps the coin was struck on the wrong metal planche, giving it an unusual color or weight. Another possibility is a double die error, where parts of the design appear duplicated due to a misalignment during the minting process. These kinds of mistakes are extremely rare, especially in modern coins, which makes them even more valuable. Now consider this, a 2023 P half dollar in fine, circulated condition with scratches might not seem impressive. However, if that same coin carries a one-of-a-kind error, its value could skyrocket. In the auction market, rarity often outweighs condition. Collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts for coins that are unique, even if they are not in perfect shape. The idea of a $350,000 price tag for such a coin may sound unbelievable, but auction history has shown that rare coins can reach incredible values when demand is high. When collectors compete for a piece that is truly rare, the bidding can escalate quickly. A coin that was once overlooked can suddenly become the center of attention, driving its value far beyond expectations. Another key factor is authentication. In order for a coin to achieve such a high value, it must be verified by professional grading services. These experts carefully examine the coin to confirm its authenticity and identify any errors or unique features. Without this step, it is nearly impossible to establish the true worth of the coin in the market. Modern coins, like the 2023 half dollar, are produced with high precision, which means errors are less common than in older coins. However, when errors do occur, they are often more dramatic and more desirable because of their rarity. This makes them highly attractive to collectors who are always searching for something unusual and hard to find. If you happen to come across a 2023 P half dollar, especially one that shows signs of wear and scratches, don't dismiss it too quickly. Take a closer look. Examine every detail carefully. Look for anything that seems out of the ordinary, whether it's the alignment of the design, the texture of the surface, or the appearance of the lettering. It's also helpful to compare your coin with standard examples. Sometimes what looks like simple damage could actually be a rare minting error, and in some cases, those small differences can mean the difference between a coin worth 50 cents and one worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The excitement of coin collecting comes from this very possibility. Treasure can appear in the most unexpected places, even in coins that are still relatively new. A 2023p half dollar might not seem special at first, but under the right conditions, it could become one of the most talked about coins in the market. Top 4. The 1984 half dollar was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the P Mint mark. During that time, large numbers of half dollars were minted, and many entered circulation. Because of this, it's not unusual to find one that has been used over the years. A coin described as fine condition shows significant wear. The design is still visible, but many of the finer details have been smoothed out. Scratches, marks, and signs of handling are common, giving the coin a clearly circulated appearance. At first, this might not sound like anything special. In fact, most collectors would expect a coin in this condition to have very little value beyond its face. But the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and value doesn't always come from condition alone. What truly makes a coin valuable is its rarity and uniqueness. Even a circulated 1984p half dollar with scratches can become incredibly valuable if it features a rare minting error or an unusual variety. These errors happen during the production process and can include doubled designs, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong metal planche. While such mistakes are rare, they are exactly what collectors search for. Imagine holding a coin that has a noticeable doubling in the date or lettering caused by a misalignment during minting. Or perhaps the coin's design appears slightly shifted, creating an off-center effect that immediately stands out. These kinds of features can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into something truly special. Now, consider the idea of a $350,000 value. That level of price is not attached to just any coin. It represents an extremely rare example, possibly one of only a few known to exist. In the auction world, rarity drives demand, and demand drives price. When collectors recognize that a coin is unique or nearly impossible to find, they are willing to compete aggressively to own it. Even in fine condition, with visible scratches, a rare error can outweigh the coin's wear. This is because collectors are often more interested in what makes the coin different rather than how perfect it looks. A scratched coin with a one-of-a-kind feature can be far more valuable than a flawless coin that is common. Another important step in determining value is authentication. If someone believes they have a rare 1984p half dollar, it must be examined by professional grading services. These experts analyze every detail of the coin, confirming its authenticity and identifying any unique characteristics. Without proper verification, it is impossible to establish a high market value. The 1980s were a period when minting technology was advanced, but still not completely free from errors. Small mistakes could and did happen, and those mistakes are what make certain coins stand out today. A tiny flaw from decades ago can now transform a coin into a collector's dream. If you ever come across a 1984 half dollar with a P Mint mark, don't ignore it just because it looks worn. Take a closer look at the details. Examine the date, the lettering, and the overall design. Look for anything unusual, anything that doesn't match what you would expect from a standard coin. Even small differences can be incredibly link-pairing. Your coin with verified examples can also help. Sometimes, what appears to be damage might actually be a rare minting error. And in the world of coin collecting, those small details can mean everything. What makes this so exciting is the idea that valuable coins can still be out there, hidden in everyday places. People often overlook them, spend them, or store them away without realizing their true worth. This means that discoveries are still possible, even today.